Hello, gentle peeps. This is Jack Lacy here. I'm here with Brax Goth with Fist of Rage, and they are going to be playing at Rocklahoma 2021. I think you are playing on Saturday. I'm not sure which stage yet. I know right around 1 o'clock or so. So Brax will fill us in on all that. So Brax is the lead singer of Fist of Rage, and I've been in contact with some people in their band trying to set up this interview, and I'm super excited that I got the chance to get to talk to you before we get to Rocklahoma and get to hear how some of y'all's awesome music there. So Brax, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I like metal.
Metal?
Metal.
Always metal.
Tattoos.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I just like to have fun, man. It's been a blast. I've been friends with Fist of Rage for pretty much since their inception. I met them shortly thereafter. And
back in 2007?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Way back when.
Right.
I had just moved actually to Oklahoma from Oregon at the time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I ran into Paullette. I was actually jamming with her son.
Oh, very cool.
I met her ex-husband. He's like, well, if you like metal, my son will be a better drummer for you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, there was a 6 or 7 year gap between us. He was still in high school and I was like 19 or something.
Right.
And the Paullette showed up. She's like, what is this bad influence doing hanging out with my son?
That's hilarious.
Little did we know, 10 years later that we'd be on stage and like brother and sisters.
Right. And Paullette plays bass.
Yeah.
For the band. Yeah. And so I've seen her. She's actually when I first started talking to, I think at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And trying to set up some interviews and stuff. So she's
our go-to.
Super nice. Yeah. Super nice lady.
She's
great
the boss.
thing.
We do as we're told.
So tell me, I saw, Rocklahoma, you have the two flags. You had the Fist of Rage, you had Violent Victim. What was Violent Victim? That's that.
My other heavy project.
Okay.
We share a practice studio.
Okay.
Just outside of Tulsa, nice 800 square foot, plenty of room, full PA system. So we can kind of change it up in there and get some actual stage practice instead of being crammed in a room.
Oh, okay.
Being in the circle is nice when you're learning new songs,
right?
And you're all looking at each other, you're trying to figure stuff out, and we can still set up that way if we want.
Yeah.
But we've been prepping for Rocklahoma, so obviously we're playing tunes. I mean, our newest tune is Rage of Judas, which features
super
Tim
awesome
Ripper
song.
Owens from Iced Earth and Judas Priest. So
nice.
But for the most part, we're practicing the same set every practice, and that's our focus. We want to make sure that we're focused on stage, not looking at each other, because you don't want to be staring at your drummer the whole set on stage.
Exactly. So we're gonna take a couple. We're gonna take a couple seconds here. I'm gonna show you just a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds or maybe less, of Rage of Judas right here. So we're back. I hope you like that song and that little bit of snippet of video I showed you. That's a super awesome song, man. I know that you're singing what you said the last time, and the Rage of Judas are the two that you sing since you joined. Since there was another vocalist before you, correct?
Yeah, I'm number 3. So
Number
original
3.
vocalist was Sam Schaefer. Dude had some savage power metal. Like, he could hit some super high notes, man. And back then, when he was in the band, it was cool watching him and learning a bit from him, because I was still, pretty young starting out. I was in a black metal band back then.
Nice. Okay.
So playing bass.
That sounds awesome, though. Yeah.
And then Andy Chapman took over when he left, and that dude's awesome as well. I mean, he's got this really grunge voice to him. So, I mean, they had a big change going from Sam to Andy, and then they kept rotating their new tunes in. I joined right before Rocklahoma 3 years ago, because Rocklahoma used to be in May. So May's my anniversary.
Very nice.
And then we got hit with COVID and all that fun stuff. So yeah, Last Time and Rage of Judas are the 2 singles that we have out that feature me as the lead vocalist. And
go ahead.
I was
just curious about the Judas Priest thing. Tell me what
oh yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's not to love about it? I mean, the only man that they ever deemed worthy to step in for, the great Judas Priest,
Rob,
Tim Ripper Owens was that man, and he did guest vocals on our track. I mean,
that is so awesome.
So,
yeah, that's very cool. So how did y'all find out? So is this the first time you're going to be on one of the main Rocklahoma stages?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you've been on there before.
Yeah, no. So Fist of Rage, they've been on the official billing a handful of times.
Okay, awesome.
And then, of course, with some of my previous projects before joining Fist of Rage, I was on the official billing a couple of years as well.
Nice.
So
you've been there a lot. So I've been there one time before, 2019 tornado, rain, mud.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's when we went. That's when we went.
Yeah, we were supposed to play 19. We were getting on stage. We got our gear on stage, and they're like, "Hey, there's a tornado south of us." Done. I'm like, "What? What?"
So you didn't get to play?
Oh, no. And they shut it down. I mean, and rightfully so. It was only 5 miles south of us, so it could have taken a hard left and come north, but it didn't.
It was crazy.
So we just pounded some beers in disappointment. But we had a blast. Steve Murdoch and the Proving Ground stage, they were awesome. Anyway, they put on a great event tent out there in the campground.
So there's several different stages, of course, at Rocklahoma. There's the main stage, and there's some different ones. Do you know which one y'all are playing on this year on Saturday?
Yeah, we're on third stage. So
third stage.
That's the DMB Roadhouse stage.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to change the layout. I know 19 was the first year that they changed a lot of things about the event, and they got rid of the Jägermeister stage, which was put on by Retrospect Records.
Okay.
And they got rid of the hard rock stage. So there's still second and third stage, but they're renamed. And I don't even know what the second stage is called now.
Yeah.
And the DMB processing stage is third stage. And so you'll walk in the main gates from the main general admission parking area at your back, and there's going to be a tent right in front of you. And that tent you'll walk around, and that's going to be where we're performing Saturday.
Okay. So I'm not 100%
actually kind of time either.
That's kind of where Ace Frehley played 2019.
Yeah, that is where he played. Yeah, same stage.
So,
yes.
So that was a great area because you could go to the sides, you could go to the front, you could go inside. You could kind of watch that all the way around. I mean, we walked around and watched Ace Frehley from like all the sides, as close as we could get. So that's actually a pretty cool stage. Yeah. Yeah,
it's awesome. Doug, the guy that runs that stage, the promoter that handles everything, he's an awesome person to work with. He's been great to our band. He's booked us for, we've had the privilege of sharing the stage at a couple of shows. One of them, the most recent of which being Buck Cherry.
Right.
And those guys were really cool. And then before that, another one Doug put us on was Last in Line, which is Ronnie James, Dio minus
Dio. Yeah.
So we got to share the stage with Vivian Campbell and Vinny Appice and
speaking of that, So tell me your like favoriteest, coolest band or group or persons that you got to hang out with in your rock career so far.
I mean, that's a pretty hard one. I've met some cool people along the road. Like back with the previous band I used to tour with, we actually ran into Ruben Alvarez from Upon a Burning Body. He was trying to find another bar, stumbled into our bar and hung out for the show.
Oh, nice.
And he was really chill. But I mean, as far as like bands collectively, sharing the stage with them that night, I'd have to say Trivium was probably one of my favorite people to share the stage with.
We love Trivium. They are amazing. Yeah.
Dude, and they were all super nice guys. They just released Silence in the Snow. They planned this whole, I don't know if they did a world tour this way, but the North American leg of the tour was all local and regional support bands. They didn't have any big nationals touring with them. So every show had a minimum of 3 area bands playing the event. And we got to be on that bill. Fuck, I mean, that show sold out before we hit the stage. Right. They weren't letting people through the door, but I mean, amongst that, they were really nice. Matt Heafy himself was really cool. The drummer was really cool. Nice. And other than that, the guitar player from For Today would probably, when I shared the stage with them, like he came up to me, he's like, "Hey, what do you guys need? What's your stage plot? Like, I'm gonna make sure you have everything that you need so you can do a good job." I mean, sorry, you got a backline in front of our drum set. I'm like, so you're the tour manager? Because I didn't know their faces. It's like, no, dude, I'm the guitar player. I'm like, what? All right, cool. And he's just handling business, being chill, super nice. And I'm like, you're apologizing for me having to set up in front of your drums? Like, that's part of the gig, bro.
Yeah. So you said you came from Oregon? From Oregon. So up there where you were, I heard just a little thing that you talked about earlier before we got on, that 49ers fan a little bit. Yeah. They're
a family team, that's for sure. So you'd probably slap me if I said the other ones.
Joe Montana. I'm a huge 49ers fan, but I grew up in Texas, so I got slapped a lot, because everybody else was Dallas Cowboy fan.
Right.
But
funny.
I saw that they page. I was like, told my wife, I was like, yes, Niner fan, I love it. So that's very cool. Yeah. So,
no, I've always been a Niners fan. I'll trash talk them just like everybody else too, because I get super disappointed because they're the only team that I care to actually watch. If I'm watching football all season, I'm watching the Niners, win or lose, and I'm gonna be yelling at them the whole time. I'm not super knowledgeable about plays and all that stuff, but I know how you make the points, and I know when you're not making the points.
So George Kittle, that plays now tight end, he went to high school here in Norman.
Oh, that's cool.
For his senior year. So huge George Kittle fan. So anyway, we'll get off of football because we're here talking about heavy metal, but I just had to pop that in real quick. So I have my jacket here of all my metal bands that I've seen. I always take patches of, so hopefully I get a patch of y'all like in there sometime when I get to see y'all this time. That'd be super awesome.
I think we have a few.
I'd like to have one for my jacket here. So first band I ever saw here was Twisted Sister back in 83, saw them.
I love Twisted Sister.
Been adding them ever since. Huge Misfits fan. Got their my tattoo here and my patch up there. But so you got is it Vernon, Lincoln?
Yeah, we got
Paullette,
Lincoln,
right?
Paullette, and we added our newest addition, our new drummer, Michael Mangum.
Michael, okay. Yeah, that's right. So, I had a new drummer. How's he doing? Is he loving it?
He's doing good. He's picked up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I was expecting a lot harder transition. Our previous drummer was great. Just had a lot of scheduling issues, whatnot, and he decided to leave. No hard feelings. We wish the best for him. And he was an incredible drummer.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, we gotta find someone in this ballpark.
Right.
And while Josh and Michael have 2 completely different vibes, Michael is holding his own. He learned the songs real quick. He got comfortable with them real quick. We're not having to. You look back at him during our sets and correct him. He's been a really solid guy. Not to mention he's an audio engineer too, and I've been trying to learn some audio stuff. So now mixing sound at practice is getting a little easier. If he's like, "Hey, I want this," I just like draw a blank. I just here's the mixer, take it.
Yeah.
And then I watch and learn.
Okay, awesome. So when was the last album? Was it the Fear album in 2011? Was that the last album?
That was the first album.
That was the first album. Okay.
Giddy Up was the last full-length release.
Okay.
And then we have the 2 singles.
Okay, the 2 single. So is that the last time in the Rage of Juice? Those are 2 new ones.
Yes, and we should have a new single coming out soon. We just finished tracking everything for a song, Epitaph. Which you will be able to hear that song at Rocklahoma if you come out. It's epic.
Okay,
it's killer. We've been changing up since I joined the band how we approach vocals.
Yeah,
and that was the idea when they brought me in. They went from really heavy old school power metal vocalist to the grunge guy, and now they've got the metalcore guy. Cool. So I can hit sing anything from what they did. And now we can throw in the kind of metalcore or heavy metal screams and stuff. So stuff's been getting a little bit heavier.
I can't wait to hear that. I love it heavy. I noticed it. So
tastefully.
If you're on, if you're a big Spotify fan, which I am, I use Spotify not only for our podcast, and me and my wife do, but we also listen to Spotify on everything we do. And so Fist of Rage is on Spotify. Their first song that gets the most hits on there is Cemetery Hero, right?
Yes.
And so super awesome song. You got Gunslinger, Dead and Gone, Mad Dog, all those are on there. So if you have Spotify, definitely go and follow Fist of Rage on Spotify. Anywhere else that's good to follow. I know you're on Facebook. That's where I found you, on Facebook. Tell us anything else you're on that kind of shouts out besides YouTube. You got some videos on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we got some live stuff on YouTube and whatnot. I mean, we're not insanely great at creating content on a regular basis. We just like to play some music, Right. But yeah,
that's the best. Yeah.
Spotify should be on Amazon Music and all that stuff too. Okay. And if you want to interact with us, Facebook or Instagram, it's probably the best way. Fist of Rage 918 on Instagram.
Yeah. So what's the 918? I was curious about that. I saw that.
918 Oklahoma area code.
Okay, so back in Tulsa area. So if you didn't know, I forget to tell everybody, y'all are a Tulsa band, Tulsa heavy metal in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I always forget that that's 918 because here in Norman, where I'm at, we're 405, so we're different. Different area codes. So I'm thinking, what is 918? I don't even know. So
yeah, it's the split. You guys get the 405 going west, got the 918 over here. Right.
So how did they? When they got ready to do the Rocklahoma thing, do y'all have to apply, or do they call you and ask you to be part of it? How'd that work?
Well, like I said, we've had the privilege of working with this promoter that runs this stage at Rocklahoma a couple times before. So he's heard us, he's seen us, and he was just satisfied with the performance that we put on and the sound that we get, and he thought that his fans at Rocklahoma would love it on his stage.
Very awesome.
And that was a fun conversation too, because he's like, man, because he's an old school rock metal guy. I mean, I went there and helped mix front of house for Sebastian Bach and Stephen Pearcy for one of his events. And
nice.
He's got all these killer old school rock bands that he loves. And
huge rap fan.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
That was cool. I got a last minute phone call. They needed someone to fill in the audio. T-Town Productions ran sound for that event, and they was like, "Hey, I need you here like now." I was like, "What's going on?" Sebastian Bach. I'm there.
How fast can I get there? It's like to hang out with Sebastian Bach and Stephen Pearcy, or just to talk to them would be amazing. Yeah.
Well, and it was Eddie Truck's birthday bash too. So
yes, I heard about that.
Got creamed with a fucking cake and landed flat on his back because.
Oh, you there? You there? Oh, so you were there at all that party? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was awesome. But anyway, so we played with Last in Line, and after that event, Doug came up to me. He's like, "Man, you got a good voice. I like what you guys did. You sounded great." He's like, "And I hate screaming music, but the way that you did it and how you did it with what you were doing fit perfectly, and I actually enjoyed it. So." Thank you. And I was like, man, thank you. I was like, I'm glad you like what I do. So
I like heavy metal. I like old metal. I like all metal, but I definitely love me some good screamo type of music.
Yeah.
I get into some German and Swedish heavy metal just because it's just so much different. I just want to hear all the different types of, everything from, Rat and Twisted Sister all the way up to you guys, up to I like Led Zeppelin, and then I go into Slipknot and Korn.
Oh yeah.
and I just like metal. So different aspects of that, and the different voices and people's abilities, because I have no abilities whatsoever when it comes to playing instruments. I'm amazed by it. I did do bodyguard work years ago for several star singers, and just hanging out with them, listening to some of that was amazing to me. I did some for the Eagles, and just talking to them and knowing some of the things that their brain goes through. Musicians, I mean, musicians, not magicians. You are magicians. Musicians, you musicians are amazing to me because I can't sing and I can't play anything, but I definitely inspire to like to make sure that I get to shout you out on platforms that I'm good at, which is the video part and the photography part. I'll be taking a lot of pictures there at the Rocklahoma, and they'll be on my Gentle Peeps Creative Studios Facebook, website, Instagram, and also you'll see all the links below. I'll put links below to Spotify for Fist of Rage and their Facebook and so on, so that way you can go check them out if you've never heard of Fist of Rage, because if you haven't heard of them, you need to hear of them. So on that note, I got a real quick question also. So on the last time, so tell me about that song more. I'm curious about that one.
Well, the last time was the first track that we got into the studio for when me and the most recent drummer that departed with us joined the band.
Okay.
So I came straight into the band. Vernon and Paullette hit me up shortly after a departure from the previous band that I fronted and toured with.
Right.
And they brought me in, and I was like, I'm down 100%. And I was like, the first thing that I said is like, but if you want me, you get all of me.
Right.
Is
this writing songs and stuff too? Is that part of it?
No. I mean, so I'm trying to get into that with Vernon. So he had a catalog. I mean, we've got so much music. We've got the 2 albums out. We've got the 2 singles out. We've got all the music recorded for the next album. We're finishing up vocals on it piece by piece, and as the vocals get done with certain ones, we're releasing singles. Right. And so we're trying to finish this catalog that Vernon felt kind of got put back while he was writing for albums like Fear and Giddy Up. Right. Because when he brought me in, it was, man, you can do all of this, and then we can still do all of that. And so, like, he wanted to really just, crunch into this stuff. And I was like, all right, man, I understand what that's like. So let's do it. So get this album out of the way. I look forward to hopefully being able to write more on the next one.
That's awesome.
But this is mostly, Vernon, he'll hand me some lyrics. I'll make a couple of changes here and there. He'll give me a melody, and I'll throw my 2 cents in here and there. And, then when it comes to the screams, I'll throw in some random ones here. And
so Vernon Hicks does some of the vocals too.
Yeah. So he's our lead guitar player. He writes the guitar parts, and for the most part, he writes the lyrics and melodies. Okay. And gives me a sheet and says, "Here's what I need you to do."
Very cool.
And then we work on it together from there.
So what I can't talk. Reverberation? Does that sound reverberation? I guess when you click on that, it takes you to a lot of your songs, and I guess they kind of shout y'all out or something. Do you know anything? I don't know if you know how much you know about that.
I'm not 100%. So okay. Paullette and Vernon have actually been running this band since pretty much day one.
Right.
They're they've been networking and working with people. I don't even know what's going on. So when I've got some new contacts, they're like, run with it and see what you can make happen.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much like, hey, have you worked with this person? Have you worked with this person? And if so, they've got good relationships all over the state and the region. I mean, so I'm still learning a lot of as far as the network goes.
Right. So tattoos, what you got going on? What's your theme here?
Oh, some bioorganic.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
A couple artists. I had the forearm done up, 10 years ago by a lady friend of mine, Linda Garcia. She's now tattooing out in Vegas. And then recently, I had some stuff up here from a buddy of mine that had passed away, and I wasn't really satisfied with how it was looking years later. And obviously with him being gone, not there to fix it up for me, I went to Just Peachy Tattoos, Broken Arrow, and hit up Dino at last. He's been a good buddy of mine.
So see the shirt, right? The shirt. Let's see your shirt. Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just Peachy Tattoos. Where they at? A Broken Arrow.
Yeah, so, Broken Arrow, just outside of Tulsa.
I'll put a link to them too below. I'll make a little link in the YouTube for them too.
Hell yeah, man!
Go check them out. So
I mean, I pay for my tattoos just like everybody else, but I consider myself an endorsed artist.
There you go.
Dino he was my tattoo artist that became my friend, not my friend that became a tattoo artist. Right. I met him when I was in another band called Enslaved by Fear, and me and the drummer were hanging out one day. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to this tattoo shop and see my friend Brock."
Right.
And Brock was working the counter. His wife was tattooing, and then they had this other guy in the back room from Atlanta. And I was watching him, and we hung out a while. Next thing I know, my drummer's getting tattooed. I'm getting stabbed in the face by Moochie. And then here we are, like, I don't know, 7 years later, and he's the only one that's tattooed me over the last 7. So he's done my hands. He's done this forearm.
Yeah.
He's done, he touched up everything that Linda did on me.
Yeah.
And brought it back to life because it was 10 years old. And then he did all of this. This is all freehand. Every session I went in, we were like, we're gonna go with a bioorganic theme. Are you ready? Here you go.
Yeah.
He started doodling, and I'd try not to look until he was done at the end of the session.
You can't beat it. It looks good.
Dude, it looks killer. I love it.
I can't
wouldn't
wait to
send
see
anybody anywhere else.
I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him in person. Hopefully, I get to meet you for a little bit while we're up at the Rocklahoma. Some things are going on at Rocklahoma. I'm going to do some shout outs here real quick, Rock. So we have Rocklahoma Campgrounds. I did a video that you can go look at in our Rocklahoma series I've done with Adam on Rocklahoma Campgrounds, all the different sites. We have Rocklahoma Unplugged by Raw, and it's actually 2 sites down from our campsite. So a lot of smaller bands or different bands are going to be there, and they're going to be unplugged, and they're going to be playing too. I'm going to do some videos and some photography of them there while we're there. We have Camp Mardi Gras. It's going to have a big Mardi Gras masquerade party on Saturday night after Slipknot. No, Friday night after Rob Zombie. And then Mr. and Miss Undead 2021. Myself and my wife are actually running for that. So you can go on to Mr. and Mrs. Undead 2021 and vote for myself and my wife to win and be Mr. and Mrs. Undead 2021 at Rocklahoma. So we're super excited. So there's so many different things. I don't know how much the bands get to hear about all the different little parties and different things that are going on in the campgrounds and different things, because I know y'all have a lot going on inside the venue that you're doing and hanging out with, but there's so many awesome different little parties and groups and campgrounds and different things that are going on outside.
No, man, we're pretty connected. Fist of Rage, like I said, they've been playing since the early years in Rocklahoma, starting back up around 07 era. And then with me having performed in 14 and 16 with my other band, and then I actually proposed to my wife on the Axis stage.
Oh, nice.
In 2015. And so, and at the time, the band I was in, my guitar player, my bass player, my drummer became my brother-in-laws.
Very nice. I saw a picture of the baby.
Yeah. We ain't got no babies around here. We got 4 crazy ones running around, but
they're all grown up.
we got the 4-year-old, so the baby's 4 now.
Okay,
and
nice.
Then she's got twins from her previous. They're 8, and then I've got my oldest from my previous, and she's 9. So
good luck, man.
House full of girls.
Ours are 18. Ours are 18 through 27. So we're done. So good luck to you, man. Have fun with all that.
Yeah, it's crazy around here, and I love that woman so much, man. I couldn't, she enables me to continue doing music and doing what I love, because I do this for not only Fist of Rage, and I travel with them as much as we can. I do this for my other band, Violent Victim,
right.
And then I'm running sound now, for bands around the area,
right.
And I would not be able to be as plugged into the music scene and doing what I love without her. I would have to pick between my family,
right.
And she's
very supportive. That's good. My wife's the same way.
I couldn't ask for a better wife.
Yeah. Well, shout out to your wife then. Hope she gets to watch all
Love
this
you,
video.
Carly.
So very awesome. Anyway, so that's awesome because you definitely our wives. Without them, right? We would not be the guys we are. So I'm super excited about that. Again, so on Saturday around 1:30 ish time, right
Give
there.
or take. There's been I've been hearing. We don't hear the inner workings of the stage details. So we were originally told would be around 1 o'clock Saturday.
Right.
Third stage Roadhouse. It could change, so y'all just stay tuned to the Rocklahoma website and stay plugged in. My suggestion is just get there as early as possible, crack a beer, fold out the lawn chair, and chill.
Yeah, watch all the great bands, because there's so many great bands at Rocklahoma. It's just fun that you can sit there and turn and move and turn and move, and you're seeing like the 3 different stages of stuff that's going on. We're super excited. My wife and I love y'all's music. We can't wait to meet y'all if we're able to. Sometimes that's not always possible because you're big stars, and we're not. But so we're pretty excited about that. But we're more excited just to hear the music and kick back. Man, I sure appreciate your time stopping and telling me a little bit more so I can show my YouTube audience, who's also going to be on our Facebook group pages for all the Rocklahoma pages, where I shout this out for all the Rocklahoma people that sometimes maybe might hear about a band but really not know unless they dig into it. This kind of gives them a little more personalized, aspect into Fist of Rage and you and the guys and ladies in your band. I say lady, Paullette. But I sure appreciate the time. So, anything else before I do my little spiel here at the end here, Brax?
No, I mean, thank you for having me on, and thank you for liking my band Fist of Rage, man.
Yeah, definitely.
We we love the music, and that's the first and foremost reason. Is being able to write tunes that we enjoy is what pulled us into it. But doing the cool shit like playing Rocklahoma and stages all around the country doesn't happen without people drawing us in and listening to our music.
So anywhere else you're playing in the next couple weeks, you want to shout out where else you're playing, maybe?
No, we're things are
focusing on
kind of up in the air right now. So Rocklahoma, and then ideally finishing up this album so we can get it out next year is what I'm hoping for. I want to knuckle down this fall and this winter and get everything wrapped up vocally and put whatever final touches that we need on that album, which is titled Tyranny of the Week.
Tyranny of the Week. Okay.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear it. All right. Again, everybody, thanks for coming and watching Gentle Peeps Creative Studios, our YouTube channel here. Like I said, we're also different areas like on Facebook and Instagram, as well as my wife and I doing our own podcast. So we hope you check those out on our YouTube. Below we'll have descriptions of everything that we've talked about that I can add in here to our tattoo place, to the music, and just super excited for Rocklahoma. It's just now it is, you don't know, you see this video as I edit it and put it on, it'll be later. Right now it's Friday night that me and Brax are talking, and this will probably come out pretty quick right before, but we'll have it right before Rocklahoma. That way we can really get everybody pumped up. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure you go below, subscribe, like, comment. That helps us grow our channel, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.